Alright, welcome back to another quick play baseball video. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I am the designer and creator of Quick Play Baseball. And in this game, I'm going to show you how to play the quote-unquote medium play game. So in a previous video, I showed you how to play the quick version, which is simply draw one situation card and then one card from whatever either the visiting or home team's deck, and then basically the half inning is over. In the medium play version, we do a similar thing, except we play out the rest of the inning. So if it's one on and one out, then you would play it until the inning is completed. So I'll show you how to do that. We got our two teams set and ready to go here. It's going to be the same teams that we had before, so the 89 Giants at the 89 Astros. So Brett Butler in center leading off, Robbie Thompson playing second, Will Clark is at first, Kevin Mitchell in left, Pat Sheridan in right, Matt Williams at third, Terry Kennedy is catching, Jose Uribe is at short, and Don Robinson is the pitcher. For the Astros, it's Gerald Young, Craig Biggio second, Bill Doran is hitting third. The cleanup spot is Glenn Davis at first base. Terry Poole in left, Eric Anthony in right. Rafael Ramirez is the shortstop, Kim Caminiti is at third, and Jim Clancy is the pitcher. You can see here Will Clark and Kevin Mitchell are both +2 players. Glenn Davis is a +1, and Jim Clancy is a -1. So these ratings will come into play very much like the play-by-play version. And each pitcher, Don Robinson is a -1 and Jim Clancy is a 0. So no modifications for Jim Clancy when he's pitching. We have our chart here. This is our play-by-play chart, and we're going to use that to fill out the rest of the inning. And we have our situation cards here. Like I said, there's almost 60 situation cards, and then we have our deck, all one deck. I've removed the jokers. I do that because there's a way to incorporate rare plays into the play-by-play game, and I'm sure that we'll come across that. So that's actually here a part of this sort of fold-out booklet. You can see here that just folds. It's just a little four-fold booklet. So we have some strategy plays with bunts and steals, bunting for hits, and then we have rare, unusual plays for batters and for pitchers. So everything you need to play the game really is right here, and it's a pretty small footprint, and we got our pre-filled score sheets here. So let's get the game started. This is the Giants at the Astros. So the first thing we do is we pull our situation card, and right off the bat, the Giants have the bases loaded with nobody out. So this is a good start for them. And what we have here is bases are loaded. You can tell this is how many outs there are. So there's nobody out. And then these plays down here are how do we get to that situation. And then up here, this is the next batter up. So we have a single to center field, and this is how we do it. We just input the plays. There's a single to right field, and then there is an infield single. And so now we have the bases loaded with nobody out, and you can see it's 1, 2, 3. The fourth player down, it's Kevin Mitchell. He is a +2. And the way that we do this is we draw one card here. We have a king of spades. So a king, anything that's on the black side, either a club or a king, we're going to look at the batting ratings. Anything on the red side, so hearts or diamonds, we're going to look at the pitcher ratings, which our pitcher here is Jim Clancy. He has 0 adjustments. So if this were to be a king, say a king of hearts, we would not adjust it up and down. As such, it's a king of spades, which typically is going to be a triple. But for Kevin Mitchell, he's got a +2, so we say +1, and then it goes off the chart. And when it goes off the chart, that's when we incorporate the rare plays. So we have our rare plays for batters, and then simply draw another card. A 7 is going to be a balk. So everyone is going to advance 1 base on the balk. And Kevin Mitchell will remain at the bat because on a balk there's no nothing for the batter to do, so except to stay there. So on a 7 of diamonds, we have a pop-up to the shortstop, and that's going to be out number 1. So still runners at second and third, but 1 run in. And let's see if Clancy can dance around the raindrops here. We got a fly ball to left. And no runner advancement. You can see on here that there are some with asterisks here, and that would be a runner advancement if the runner's at third base. That would be like a deep fly ball, sacrifice fly. Otherwise, it's just a fly ball that's not far enough to get the runner home. So 2 down, and we have a 10. 10, no adjustment here. A 10 of spades is going to be a walk, so that's a walk to Matty Williams, and that's going to load the bases once again. So bases loaded. Terry Kennedy to the plate, and it's a 6 of hearts, which is a foul out to the third baseman. So Clancy gets out of that with only giving up 1 run, so keeps his team in the game, and we head to the bottom of the first inning. So here our situation is 2 outs with nobody on. We have a fly ball to right and a fly ball to center. So we mark those down. And you can see it's the third batter, 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be Bill Doran to the plate. Let's go ahead and shuffle. I like to shuffle every half inning. So just a light shuffle, 1 or 2. You can find a shuffling pattern that's good for you. I just like for each team to start out basically with the same opportunities, the same percentages to get hits or do whatever. All right, so Bill Doran is up. No adjustment there. He's a 0. So a 6 of clubs is going to be a foul out to the first baseman. And a 1, 2, 3 inning for Don Robinson. Again, he is a -1, so if I draw a red, then like let's say it's a red 6 of diamonds, instead of a 6 it's a 5. So we just sort of make that adjustment to the pitching side when it's a red suit. You can also shuffle the situation cards if you want, but there's not really a need to. There are enough plays to play out an entire game when you're just doing 1 situation per inning. So this game takes a little bit longer than the quick play version, a little less time than the full play version. So we have Jose Uribe, nobody out, nobody on. It's 1 more batter down, so it's going to be actually Jose Uribe to the plate. That is going to be no adjustment. Remember, we had an adjustment before, but there's no adjustment here, so that's going to be a triple for Jose Uribe. And just like that, we have a batter, a runner at third base, and nobody out. 6 from Don Robinson is going to be a fly ball to center field. A little can of corn there. Not going to get the run in. Here we have an 8 of hearts, which is a fly ball to left again. Not deep enough to get the run. And looks like Clancy's going to get out of it again. This is going to be a liner to first base. And that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning. So the Giants strand a runner at third base after the leadoff triple from Uribe. And Clancy dances around it again and preserves the 1-0 lead for the Astros. Coming up in the Astros second inning is going to be Glenn Davis, Terry Poole, and Eric Anthony, the right fielder. So 1 on and 1 out. We had a walk to Glenn Davis, and then a foul out to the catcher. So Poole pops it up to the catcher, and the next person up is Eric Anthony. He has no adjustment here. Glenn Davis is the only one, and then the pitcher, they each have an adjustment. So that's going to be a pop-up to the second baseman. And Rafael Ramirez, with the runner at first base, a king of clubs, is going to be a single with an asterisk. Now that means the runner gets 1 extra base. With 2 outs, the runner gets that extra base anyway. So it's going to be a single first to third. But normally with less than 2 outs, they would be able to go first to third. But typically with no asterisk, a single just advances all the runners 1 base. So King Caminiti to the plate. Let's see if Robinson can get out of it. So we have a red. So we need to check the pitcher's rating here. It's a -1. So instead of 6 of diamonds, it's really a 5 of diamonds, which is a liner to the second baseman. And that's going to be out number 3. So runner stranded at third for Houston. And that's going to bring up Will Clark, Kevin Mitchell, and Pat Sheridan. So heart of the order for the Giants. And let's see what happens. Nobody, runner at second base with nobody out. So Will Clark with the double to left center field. Brings up Kevin Mitchell again with runners in scoring position. We have a 5 with no adjustment, so that 5 of hearts is going to be a little grounder in front of the plate. Excuse me, 2-3 on the put out. So looking back, the runner at second, he's not going to advance, so 1 down. And Pat Sheridan to the plate. A 5 of diamonds is a liner to second. And then we have an 8 of spades. 8 of spades is going to be a deep fly ball to center field. Gives it a good ride, but it stays in the ballpark, and the Giants strand a runner at second base. Still 1-0 our score as Matt Williams flies out deep to center field. And they can't get that runner around from second base. There are some strategy plays like bunting, and you can even bunt for a hit and some other things. So things that you can try to get on base or to move runners. All right, bottom of the third we go for Houston. It's going to be Clancy, Young, and Biggio. We have nobody out and nobody on, so Clancy is the batter. He is a -1. So Jack -1 is going to be a walk. So instead of a single, it's a walk. Got a runner at first base and Gerald Young to the plate. Oh. Sometimes I go for the wrong card. So Jack -1 is going to be a grounder to short with a runner on first base and nobody out. This is a double play situation. So when there's a grounder and a double play situation, the way you can do a double play check, there's an automatic double play on a liner here. On a line drive, there's a double play. But the intention is to check for ground ball double plays. So to do a ground ball check, you have a 6-3. Typically with nobody out or 2 outs, you'll make the 6-3 put out. But to check for a double play, flip another card. The card is a face card. That means it's an automatic double play. If it were a number card, then it would be a force out at the, well, in this case, second base. So typically you're going to go second to first, right? You can make decisions on that, but here we have a ground ball there, and we're going to say 6-4-3 on the put out. So with a face card, that's an automatic double play. Don Robinson gets the out, and you can see here how his pitching makes a difference. So normally it would have been a walk, instead it turns into a double play. So if you're wondering, well, I'm only like moving one or two on the chart, does it really make that much difference over the course of a game, over the course of a season? It makes a lot of difference. Over the course of one at bat, maybe it doesn't necessarily in a particular instance. But if you keep playing, I assure you that it will work out. It's a 1 out of 13 chance that you are. So I don't know, what is that? 8, 7. It's a little more than 7% less chance of getting a hit or getting a good play. So it does change things. It does move the needle. For Craig Biggio, he's catching. Actually, in this game, when he was young, he was a catcher. Actually played catcher in multiple positions. So he's going to pop out to the first baseman for the third out. So he pops it up in foul territory. And that's all she wrote for the Astros. So the Astros go down in the third. They get the pitcher on via walk, and then he's erased with the double play. Bottom of the order coming up for the Giants in the top of the fourth inning. So you can see the game plays smoothly, but a little bit more slowly than the quicker playing game. Okay, we got 2 runners on. Runners at second, third with nobody out. There was a single to center field. And a double to left field. So he comes to third on the double. So now we have runners at second and third, and it is Don Robinson who is up to bat. He's got a 7 of spades, a 6-3 on the putout. We're going to call that an RBI here. So on the fielder's choice, runner at second is going to stay with the ball in front of him. And we're going to say 6-3, so no infield in or anything like that, just a straight up 6-3 put out. So the runner stays at second base. The runner from third scores, and Robinson with the RBI. 2-0 is the Giants' lead. 5 of spades is going to be a fly ball to right, not deep enough to score or to move the runner. And so 2 down with Robbie Thompson coming to the plate. A 2 of hearts is going to be a strikeout, first strikeout of the game for Clancy. Excuse me. And the Giants put another run on the board. It's 2-0. San Francisco over Houston as we head to the bottom of the fourth. Not a lot of hard and fast rules with base running and things like that. You can homebrew some stuff if you want to. I try to just think about what would a player do in a normal situation. He wouldn't run to third if the ball's hit in front of him. But if you're playing back, you're going to be able to score from third with a ball hit to the shortstop. If it's hit to the third baseman, all the runners will probably stay. You look them back and then throw to first. So those are sort of typical plays in baseball. Let's go here. Already saw that card, so I'm going to put that away. We got 2 on with 2 out. And the way we got there was a single to left. So a single from Bill Dorn. Fly ball to left field from Glenn Davis. And I'm just looking here, going across left to right. There's a double to left center. And that is from Terry Poole. That's going to push the runner to third base. And then we have a strikeout here. So 2 down. It's Rafael Ramirez. He singled in his first at bat. Here he's got a 2 of clubs, which is a strikeout. So back-to-back strikeouts for Don Robinson. and that gets him out of a hot mess. And the Astros fail to score again with runners in scoring position. It's been name of the game for them so far. 2-0 is the lead for the Giants, so game hasn't run away from them, as Clancy's been pitching very well, getting out of messes himself. And we head to the top of the 5th inning. So nobody on and one on and nobody out. So that's a walk to Will Clark. Clark has been on base all 3 times. And now it's going to be Kevin Mitchell to the plate with nobody out. A 3 is going to be a strikeout looking. So a nice pitch there by Clancy. Pat Sheridan, the right fielder. A 7 of diamonds is going to be a pop out to the shortstop. And Matty Williams with a jack of hearts is going to walk. So 2 on now. 2 on for Terry Kennedy. Let's see if Kennedy can get a big hit. Queen of spades is going to be the big hit. So that's going to be a double with an asterisk, and that's going to score everybody. Doesn't really matter because there were 2 outs, so that's a bases clearing double. 2 RBIs for Terry Kennedy, as the veteran catcher comes up with the big hit. It's now 4-0 San Francisco with 2 down, and Jose Uribe to the plate. 9 is going to be a fly out to deep left field, and that's going to end the inning, but not before 2 runs come in. 4-0 is our score. I'm not planning to make any pitching changes here. I don't have any rosters or anything around me, so the pitchers are just going to take their lumps in this one and go 9 innings. But normally you'd be able to bring in other pitchers. I have rated every player from 1901 to 2022, and I'll be selling these sets in eras. So like you can buy the dead ball era, 1901 to 1919, or you could buy the steroid era, which would be 94 to 2005, I believe. So you can buy these in chunks, and literally every pitcher will be in that roster set. Every batter who got at least 30 plate appearances is also going to be in that set. So almost every player. I also have instructions whenever you purchase the game about how to rate players yourself. So if you want to try to rate, I'll be producing other leagues like Korean baseball or Japanese baseball leagues. As I can find the stats, I will try to rate those teams in leagues. If you wanted to do college baseball, you could do that, or high school baseball, or just make up a bunch of fake teams and rate them however you wanted to. That's also a possibility. So a lot like the dead ball game, you can kind of rate anybody that you want with these ratings here. All right, so we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's me, Cabinetti, Clancy, and Young leading off. We got 2 on now. Cabinetti with the double to right field, and then the pitcher with the walk. Second time he's walked in the game. So runners at first and second with nobody out, and the third batter is Gerald Young. Got an ace. Normally that would be a single. Again, we dropped that down 1 because of Robinson, so it's still going to be a single. And everybody's going to advance 1 base. So not an asterisk here, not 2 outs. So everybody just moves the single 1 base. All right, so we got a 9 of diamonds. That's really going to be an 8. So that's me a grounder, 5-3. We have a double play opportunity here. We're going to try to go around the horn, 5-4-3. That's going to score a run, so it's going to be at least 1. So he's going to score on the fielder's choice. It's here, right? So let's check out the double play, see if we turn it. It's a 10, which is a fielder's choice. So they get the first one. So that's going to be out number 1. We get an RBI here. That's going to be a 5-4 put out. Runner goes to third on the fielder's choice. So scores from third. Runner at second goes to third. The runner at first is out at second, and the runner or the batter is safe. So that's an RBI ground out for Biggio, who beats out the throw to first. We have 1 out and runners at the corners. 1 already in. Oh, this could be a big hit for Bill Dorn, and it is. That's going to be a bases clearing double. So big time hit for Bill Dorn, the second baseman. Is going to score the runner from first. Remember, that's 1-2 for the double, and then 1 extra for the asterisk. And comes home from third. And comes home from first. And that's 2 RBIs. So just like that, quick strike of 3 runs makes it 4-3. And there's still only 1 out with a runner at second base. We get a 2. That's going to be a strikeout, actually a 3, I guess. It's a strikeout swinging. So Glenn Davis is a +1, right? So it's a 3 of spades. So strikeout swinging, out number 2. And Terry Poole lines out right back to the pitcher. And that's going to be it for the Astros. But they do put up 3 in the bottom of the 5th inning, and we got ourselves a game. It's 4-3 Giants over the Astros. Big hit there by Bill Doran. Big RBI double. Doran is 2 for 3 in the game. So we head to the top of the 6th inning in this one. This is a matchup from July 28, 1989. Giants at the Astros. And the Giants come right back. They get a single from the pitcher and a single to right field. And I think the insinuation is that he goes to third, maybe. So we're going to get a walk here and a strikeout. So Will Clark strikes out with the bases loaded, and he is the 1 out. So it's going to be Kevin Mitchell to the plate, another RBI opportunity. Let's see if Mitchell can come through this time. He's a +2, so any black card, any black suit, we can add 2. That's going to be an ace. No change by the pitcher, and an ace of diamonds is a home run, and Kevin Mitchell goes yard. As he hits the granny, and that's gonna be a grand slam for Kevin Mitchell. Had a great year in '89. It's kind of a part-time player with the Mets. Became a full-time left fielder for the Giants as they made a run at the championship in '89. Remember, that was the all NorCal season, the A's and the Giants in the World Series. So 4 runs in on the grand slam, and that makes it 4, 6, 7, 8-3 for the Giants. 1 out. Got a 3 of hearts. That's going to be a strikeout looking. That's out number 2. And we got a queen of spades, which would be a double for Matty Williams. And a 4 of clubs is going to be a pop in foul ground that the catcher, Biggio, makes a play on. But 4 runs come in for the Giants in the 6th inning. That was a huge inning for them. You only get 1 shot at this card. Bases loaded and 1 out. and Kevin Mitchell took advantage of it by going deep. Okie doke, we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It'll be Anthony Ramirez and Caminiti. Let's pull our situation. Situation is runner at second and 1 out. So we have a hit by pitch. And we have a, he's going to go to second on the fielder's choice. We're going to go 2-3 on the put out. So there's 1 out. And the batter is King Caminiti. He doubled in his last at bat. We got an 8, which becomes a 7, and that's going to be a fly ball to center field. Can of corn out there in center field for Butler as he makes the play. And Jim Clancy stands in. 2 of clubs is going to be a strikeout. And Don Robinson takes care of the Astros with a shutdown inning. They get a runner to second base, but they can't bring him around. And so we go to the 7th inning. It is 8-3 Giants over the Astros in this one. The Giants are threatening again, 2 on with 1 out. You get a single to right field. And the pitcher gets on via an E6. So error on Ramirez puts runners at first and second with, I didn't account for the out. We'll just call that a fly ball to center. That's good to know. So 1 down, and Robbie Thompson to the plate. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I have that right. These are older cards. I'm going to go through and make sure that that these are all okay. We got Robbie Thompson to the plate. No adjustment there, so it's going to be a jack of hearts, which is a walk to Thompson. Thompson's second walk of the game. And that will load the bases. And it's Will Clark to the plate. Clark with an adjustment of +2, so a 9 of clubs becomes a walk. And he is going to walk in an RBI as they take a 9-3 lead. That brings up Kevin Mitchell, man of the hour. A 7 of diamonds is a pop-up to the shortstop. And that'll be out number 2. Nobody moves or advances. And that brings up Pat Sheridan. Pat Sheridan with the queen of clubs. And that's going to be a single. This one is broken more wide open than it even was before. And that's going to be a 2 RBI single as the runner scores from second base with 2 outs. And the runner goes to third. So 2 RBIs for Pat Sheridan, who busts this one wide open. So it's going to be 6, 8, 10 to 3. And then we get a 4 of hearts. That's be a liner to the first baseman. And that'll be the 3rd out of the inning. The Giants do get 3 more. So 7, 9, 10, 11. Sorry, I counted wrong. 11 to 3 is the score. And normally, like I said, you would take Clancy out of this game long before he got to this point. I mean, here he would be out, but just not removing him for the sake of just getting this demo out on to the video. Bottom of the 7th inning, Astros up. 1 out with nobody on. We had a ground ball. I'm sorry. It's 5-3 on the put out. That's out number 1. And it's going to be Craig Biggio to the plate. Biggio reaches up and hits a bomb as he continues to fight for the Astros. And that's going to be a solo home run off of Don Robinson. And that makes the score 11-4. We got a 3 of spades, which is a strikeout as Robinson comes back to get the K on Bill Doran. And a 2 of hearts. Again, this is a -1, so we got to go to our rare plays for the pitcher. So let's see. A 7 is going to be first baseman. Hit hard, he dives, and he makes the catch. So that's going to be a liner to third. And that's the third out of the inning. But the Astros do pick up 1 on the Craig Biggio home run. It is now 11-4, San Francisco over Houston. And we have 2 innings left in this one. San Francisco, 2 on and 2 out. And let's see how they got there. There was a strikeout. There was a walk. A single to right field. And that's going to push the runner to third. And then we have another strikeout. So 2 down, runners at the corners. And it is Robbie Thompson to the plate. Thompson with a bases clearing double. So another big hit from the Giants with runners in scoring position, as they have cleaned the plate every single time. So 2 RBIs in, that makes it 13-4. Next batter up is Will Clark. That's a king, but that's going to push us off of the chart here. I get a jack, and that's going to be a hit by pitch. So Clark hit by the pitch, and he'll take first base. So first and second now for Kevin Mitchell. And ace of diamonds is another ace of diamonds for Kevin Mitchell as he goes bombs. And this one is a rout. It will be Pat Sheridan to the plate with 2 outs and 5 runs in the inning. 10, that's going to be an error. So Sheridan gets on via the error, and we get a 2 of diamonds mercifully, and that's going to be a strikeout for out number 3. So 3-5 runs in, and lots of crooked numbers here at the end. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. And you can see that just run scoring opportunities really just kind of depend on who's pitching and how you get these situation cards flipped up for you. Terry Poole, 1 on with 1 out. That's going to be a grounder. 6-3, that's 1 out. And a single to center field for Eric Anthony brings up Rafael Ramirez. Ramirez, the queen becomes a jack, so it's going to be a walk. And we have 2 on with 1 out. King Caminiti to the plate. Caminiti with a fly ball deep to left field. It's not going to advance any runners. It would have scored a run from third automatically. And then we got Jim Clancy to the plate. So an 8 becomes a 7. That's a pop-up to the shortstop. And again, Houston threatens, but cannot bring in the runs. And this one is a laugher. 9, 12, 14, 16-4 is our score. And the Giants come up for 1 more inning. They get the runners on the corners with 1 out. So that's going to be an E3. A single to right field. So runner goes to third on the single, and a fly out to the center fielder is the first out. So runners at the corners with 1 out. A 7 of hearts is going to be a fly ball to center field. Not deep enough to score the run from third. And so we go to the next batter. That's Robbie Thompson, and he's going to strike out to end the threat. And the Giants don't score as they get runners at the corners with only one out. And we head to the bottom of the ninth inning. 16-4 is our score here, as the Giants, especially Kevin Mitchell, has gone off. He's got 7 RBIs. And just a huge day for him. Oh, pull our card here, and 2 outs with 2 on. So we get a strikeout here. Or out number 1, we get a single. We get a single. And a pop out to the shortstop is out number 2. So 2 down with 2 on. And that 9 becomes an 8. That's going to be a grounder to the third baseman. The third baseman is Matty Williams. He fires a strike to first, and that is the end of the ball game. So this one is a laugher for the Giants, 8, 12, 14, 16-4. And that is how you play the medium play game. So you can see there are lots of different types of plays here. Would have helped the Astros to have some of these ones with nobody on base. But you can see all of them sort of play out the same. They don't have anything here for the 1 out, but I've actually gone and added those in. So those are actually on the cards now. And you'll be able to see those. This was an old test copy that I've been playing with and just haven't printed new ones. But you get all of these situation cards. Again, you can, if you don't like the run environment by using all of the situation cards, then remove some. Or print another sheet of the 1 out and 2 out cards with nobody on base, and then insert those in. So you actually have sort of a God mode kind of idea where you can adjust the run environment to what you want it to be. If you only want a certain percentage of the cards to actually be opportunities to score runs, and you want to bring the run environment way down, remove some of those cards. Remove some of these run scoring opportunities in here, like these where a single is going to drive in 2 runs. Just get rid of some of these opportunities, and you can actually craft and create the run environment that you want. This is just printing out all of the situation cards and then putting them in a stack. This is sort of the run environment that we have right now. I based these figures off of 2022, so if you're playing in the 1960s, that might be a little bit less realistic, to have 2022 statistics determining what the run environment is for what you want to play, or if you're playing in the dead ball or whatever it is. But I assure you, 16-4 games have been happening for a long time. But if you are consistently getting those results, then just please don't argue at me. Just make the adjustments in the game, because I've given you the tools to be able to make those adjustments in the game. I'm also considering doing the chart to be contextualized to each particular era. The issue with that is that most eras are about the same. There are some things like strikeouts and stuff like that that are going to be a little bit different. But guys were striking out 300 a long time ago. So it's just one of those deals where if you run into some inconsistencies, or with your own expectations of what should be, maybe I should put it that way, then you can craft and create this game to be the game that you want it to be. Like all of my games, I leave everything up to you. You have the option and the ability to sort of manipulate things like the situation cards to craft the kind of game that you want. And once you get those set, this is a run environment I feel comfortable with. The games are coming out about like I want them to, or about like I expect them to. And then, just go with it. Go with that. You're not going to hurt my feelings to take the pieces that I've given you and create the game that you really want to play. That's been the entire impetus for getting into this for me, and that customization, that modularization of the games is really important, and a really important aspect of the way that I create games, which is, I know, is foreign to a lot of people who are in this hobby, and hopefully it's catching with others. And if you've ever wished, man, I wish I could just kind of manipulate or change things without having to create a whole new chart or a whole new system or whatever, maybe you should try out some of my games, because on base you can do the same thing. On base advanced is a little bit more like kind of stuck, but there are other games that I've created where you have a little bit of openness, a little bit of ability to kind of craft what you want for those games, or to create the type of run environment in baseball that you want, or to just kind of change and manipulate the game engine even. I want to give you the power as the gamer to create and craft the game that you want to play. I'm going to help you by creating sort of the base game engine and base components, but really it's up to you, if you don't like that base game, to just make those changes yourself. So I have guys and ladies who suggest things all the time, changes to make, and I say go for it. I love the spirit of innovation and tinkering and all of those things. I want to encourage that in my games, not to discourage it. I'm not looking for any particular results for you. I'm looking for you to get the results that you want out of the gaming experience, so that it feels satisfactory to you. So if that's something you're interested in, look across my line of games that I've created. I've got baseball, basketball, football game will be coming out soon, and so that's just sort of a hallmark of the games that I make, is that you can manipulate the game engine to make it the way that you want to be. All right, I think that's it from here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, click subscribe. Like I said, I have on base baseball, on base advanced, and quick play baseball sort of at this channel, so you get a little bit of news for any and all of those games. And the quick play game is coming. I just finished the dead ball era, and I'm creating the roster sheet so that the batters and the pitchers for each team during this, like each season, so let's say the 1901 Baltimore team, the batters come, then the pitchers come, and then whoever the next team is for 1901, batters, pitchers. So I'm sort of setting it up based off of what gamers have said in the past about my roster sheets. So hopefully it is going to take a little bit more time, but hopefully it's a better experience for you as a gamer to be able to print off either the season that you want or the teams that you want, so that you don't have to print off everything, and you don't have to have this, kind of going back and forth with the pitchers and the batters. So trying to listen to the needs of gamers and respond accordingly, but it is going to take a little bit more time for me to do that. There's a little bit more that I have to do by hand, because I keep those batters and pitchers separate, so I got to find a way, the best way I can, to combine those two. And I also have to put in headings. That's really the trickier part, is to have to put in headings that clearly separate the statistics and the ratings from the batters and the pitchers. You could see it if you just looked at it, but it's a lot clearer if I just put the headings in there. So it's going to take a little bit of time. I don't know if I will just go straight through, and that the next era will be the live ball era. Maybe I'll do something a little bit more modern, 60s and 70s or something like that. I have a poll out on the Sports Simulations and Replays Facebook group, so if you're in that group, go and click on that poll. Really, I'm looking at what are the eras most played, most of interest, and then I can begin to release on that sort of schedule, where the most people are going to want to, most probability of purchasing a particular era. I don't want to wait till the end to release the era that everybody wants to play. So I can do sort of an adaptive release of these seasons based off of what everyone wants to play. And I figured it out going through the dead ball era, so that's completed. And again, I just need to go through all the cards and everything. So I'm hoping in the next week or two to have all of the game completed. Still thinking about, do I need to contextualize the game engine chart? So if you have any thoughts or ideas about that, feel free to lay that on me. Put that in the comments. Should I contextualize the gameplay chart for each different era and just make sure that strikeouts, home runs are going to align for most eras here, so will triples, doubles are going to align for most eras, and singles are probably going to align for most eras as well. So the hits are probably covered, but some of the other things like strikeouts or walks, maybe those need to be manipulated or changed just a little bit for each era. So we'll see if that's a necessity, and if not, then not. If you want to learn how to play the quick play game, I have a video on here on the On Base Baseball channel. There's a playlist that's called Quick Play Baseball. So in that playlist, you can see how to play the quick play game. I also have a digital version that I created and was kind of testing out, so you can check that out. There's videos for that. And then I also have in the introduction to the quick play reboot, you can see how to play the long play version of the game, which is simply removing the situation cards and just flipping cards like you would roll dice or do an FAC deck, and then using your chart here. So this, it would be without these, and that really would be your footprint for playing that. I like to play that way because it kind of moves quickly, and the chart is really based off of those percentages. You get a lot more scoring opportunities if you include those in the situation cards. But again, if you don't want to have as many scoring opportunities, just remove some and see what feels good to you and what feels right. And then as you sort of play with the game, you'll know, okay, maybe now I'm getting into a run environment that's a little bit too pitcher heavy and not balanced enough, or maybe you like that. Maybe you don't want very many runs, and so there's only a handful of opportunities each game to score, and we'll see if the players get to that point or not, and how they perform. So I know it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with, but it's just because I'm talking a lot, not because the game is so complex or complicated. I hope that you're going to like this. I really do. I know that cards are not necessarily like the coolest or hottest thing, so everybody loves dice. Some of the advantages of cards are that it's more portable, because you can actually put this on a flat surface or in a car or on a plane, and you can actually play. It also takes up less space than if you had to roll. So if I was rolling, I need a space like this. I don't need that kind of space here. I could even flip my cards that way if I needed to, and just take up a lot less space. If this is all the space that I had, I could still technically play the game in the space of one sheet of paper. But with dice, it would be a lot more difficult. And the second thing is, it's not as noisy. So if you need to play in a space where you don't want to bother people with dice making a bunch of noise, these obviously don't make that much. Ooh. Excuse me. My throat got a little dry. They don't make that much noise. So, a deck of cards is super cheap. You can find them anywhere, at any grocery store or convenience store. You can find them so many places. And you can have one deck that's specifically for when you play the quick play version, and then you can have another deck that's just ready to go for playing either the long play or the medium play version. The more you shuffle the cards, the more variance you're going to get, so that you don't get a bunch of face cards bunched up together, or you get a bunch of number cards bunched up together. You want a good mix. So the more you shuffle the cards, the better it's going to be. So the game should kind of even out as you shuffle your cards more. Or if you have a card shuffler, that's probably great and will make for the most variance in the game. All right. Any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel. Click the little bell icon, and you'll be notified of new videos that I post. again, another week or two, this should be ready to go. I'll post it to the onbasebaseball.com website, and then you'll be able to purchase it from the quick play section on the website. I think that's it. I really appreciate everyone's help on this. I appreciate everyone paying attention. I like that everybody's excited about this, and I'm excited too. I think just having so many players available is really going to set this game apart, and the fact that you can play both quick play and you can play a long play game at the same time with the same cards and the same rosters. They're all going to be evaluated the same. They're all going to be evaluated. So you're going to have these numbers, but also the ABCs, the stars, the plus ones. That's all going to be included. So whatever you need to play one of these three versions of the game is going to be included with the rosters that you receive. And then on top of that, it's going to be more than a decade. So typically 1 to 2 decades, if not more, of those games are going to be available to you, or of those players. And it's a lot of players, so thousands. So I think you're going to like it. I think you're going to be happy with the purchase, and just got to get everything buttoned up and ready to go. And otherwise, the game is looking good. Okie doke. That's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.